in homes as well.
Oh, thank you.
She wants shorter answers. I think they want me to say yes or no, so I will. But I just want to give you information.
Hi, my name is Joellen Anderson, and I have been researching port-related issues for about 1.5 years. I'm also currently interning with the Coalition for Clean and Safe Ports.
Good for you.
Yeah. As you know, ports are a huge part of the chain of good transportations around the world. 40% of the goods that come into the United States enter right here through the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach. And the ships, trains, and trucks involved in moving goods create more pollution in the Los Angeles area than any other source. It affects people throughout the region, but in particular people living and working near the ports, like the thousands of truck drivers who sit in their polluting trucks for hours waiting to take goods out of the ports and not getting paid for their waiting time. This system hurts the environment and promotes the exploitation of the drivers by large companies. Los Angeles' Clean Trucks program, when implemented in its entirety, is revolutionary, and in that it not only shows LA's commitment to reduce its impact on the environment, but also its support for the people that the policy affects most, meaning the truck drivers. By requiring the drivers to be employees, the full program gives the responsibility to companies to maintain trucks, ensuring that they will pollute less and the drivers can afford to work. Your support and leadership in the Clean Trucks program has given a model for sustainable transportation around ports. I ask that when you go to Copenhagen, you impress on the global community, and in particular leaders from port cities, that the environmental issues in trade and transportation of goods cannot be addressed without taking into consideration the people affected by the policies, even when that means standing up to big business.
Well, I will, and I have. I will and I have, and let me tell you why. Kyoto, did it require standards on the international maritime industry? Answer is no. We, notwithstanding that, isn't that right? Kyoto did not require international standards on the maritime industry. Notwithstanding that, early on, there were forces on this side of the equation that said, we got to stop growing our port. It's creating a public health hazard. Some were saying we got to close the port down. We're the 7th largest port in the world. We move 44% of all the seaborne goods. We can't close our port. Then there was folks on the other side that said we got to grow our port. I don't care about the public health consequences. And once again, I said, hold it, everybody. We got to grow our port. It's an engine of economic activity, but we got to green it. We can't green it if we don't grow it, and we can't grow it if we don't green it. When we did this program, we said we were going to, in 5 years, going to reduce pollution there, NOx and SOx primarily, and diesel, by 50%. We've reduced it by 70 in 2 years. Yes. We've said that it was going to take 5 years to retrofit all the trucks. Well, in 2 years, we've retrofitted, no, it's about 6,000. This is where I know a little more of my staff. All right, it's about 6,000 trucks. We're going, of the probably 12,000 trucks that we have in existence there, and we've done it in 2 years. But we also said something else. As we grow the port, let's grow together. Do you remember that, Regina? Where's Regina? She's gone. You remember that. Let's grow together. Remember when we did that thing at SC together? Let's grow together. Let's grow greener. Let's grow more civic-minded. Let's grow safer together. So what we said was, let's make sure that companies are responsible for purchasing these engines so they can keep them up. And let's also make sure that the people that are moving these goods can afford to buy some of them from time to time. Give them a decent wage. So we brought, when I say we brought the progressive movement together, environmental movement, the public health movement, the labor movement, and the progressive business movement. And we changed the paradigm. There's no port in the world that has moved farther or faster to clean up a port than LA. And if you read the newspaper, all we do is get beat up about it, but we keep on moving forward. This is a progressive town. This is not a town, you know, we celebrate work, we honor work, but we also don't just do it with words. We honor work by treating our workers right. So treating our environment right, treating the businesses right. I just met with China Shipping. China Shipping decided to stay at LA's port because 3 years ago I said to them, support my green agenda, and I promise you, I will do all the things we got to do to be able to approve the EIR so that you can expand your facilities. I made good on that promise. He could have gone to Long Beach and saved $10 million a year, but he chose to stay in LA because he said, you honored your commitment to us. So we have business, labor, public health, environmental organizations all working together in that effort. More of you need to be involved in that. It is a great effort. Sorry, I know I'm going too long, but I'm having fun. I love it. In my next life, I'm going to be a professor. People, I will. I mean, there's no question I will be somewhere, at some university, maybe here.
Hi, my name is Madison Domingo, and I'm a sophomore here at Oxy. As you know, transportation is the largest source of carbon emissions in cities. As a student here in LA, it's hard for me to not notice that we need to transform the way we think about transportation here. Here at Oxy, we've been working to support alternative forms of transportation and to move away from a reliance on cars. We've done this through programs such as you mentioned, like Arroyo Fest and Ciclovia. We're also working on helping put together another bike summit for this next March. Not only are we supporting movements towards an alternative transportation-based society, but here on campus, we've done a lot to move towards being an alternative transportation-based campus. I, along with other students, have been working on creating a bike sharing program for the student body and also for joining Zipcar, which other universities and colleges are a part of. When you travel to Copenhagen, the leading bike city in the world, you will note that 1/3 of their transportation is bike-based. Please take note of that system so we can follow their lead and help support more alternative forms of transportation.
I will. I've stood up with, as you know, I'm promoting the Zipcar, and we just announced that a couple of months ago. We're making final approvals on our bike plan. LA's got to be a lot more bike friendly. It just does. And you know, this is the car culture capital of the world, and we started all this craziness about the single passenger automobile. And I promised the bike advocates that in Measure R, which is, you know, half-penny sales tax, approved in the middle of a recession with a 2/3 vote, $40 billion for public transportation, for highway repair, but also for bike paths and more walkable neighborhoods. So yes, we will be advocating in support of that cause. Here come the cyclists.